Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here in the lab. In the book, I got a nice short lesson for you, but hopefully informative, something that you can really get something out of. So that's the game plan. That's what I'm planning to do. Let's go. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is, we're going with this, to know thyself. So let's get it together, and I ask the question, do you know you? Oh, you will when I get through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not, and knows that they know not, is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. A question. I'm asked the question, I'm going to answer for you. Q&A right quick. But right thinkers, let's talk about what the ego is. The ego is you, but it's not the real you. What you mean? Okay, let me give you a quick verse from a sage, an Indian sage, okay? He says, the self is within, and the self is without. The self is before. The self is behind. The self is the south. The self is the north. The self likewise is above, and the self is below. This is the embodied consciousness. The mindset is none other than the universal consciousness of what? Know thyself. In that self, it's showing you, before I get to the ego, I'm showing you the ego ain't thyself. But that's who we identify with. In order to get to thyself, we had to get past the ego self. Little quick test. Let me see if I can get through this one for you right quick. To get you to understand. We call it the devil and all that. Yeah, God lead. I'm not concerned with what y'all call it. I'm giving you a lesson about the ego. Y'all call it something else. Okay. The id, whatever. Carl Jung, I like his philosophy. Okay, he's on point. But let's go. The ego is our identification with our bodies. The I, the me. That's the ego. It's identified with who it is. And that's true. That's just who it is. It don't know its higher self. That's why it's the ego. The acronym is edge God out. The ego is godless. Get the concept now? Okay. Hopefully I can make it make sense. And as soon as we are born, the consciousness identifies with what? The ego self. And that's our problem from that point on. We are told and begin to what? Believe that what? Our arms, our legs, our skin, our thoughts, our ideas, etc. Somebody's telling us about that. And are what constitutes the totality of our existence as human beings. What's in us is spirit. That's what's in us. That's the self. The consciousness of identified is our consciousness identified with ourself. The ego. The ego don't know God. It don't have to. It needs to know itself. You need to become conscious of who you are and your higher self. That's the concept. So let's get back to the lesson. Hope I can get it across. Now, in addition, through process of we call reincarnation. You see the sign here, the infinity sign. That's a sign, life, death. Okay, they go together. You live, you're gonna die. It's going circle. But reciprocity means it's a cycle that feeds off each other. As one die, somebody's born. As one born, somebody die. So it's going to consistently go that way. And the reciprocity for us, when two people are together, you breathe in, I breathe out. You breathe out, I breathe in. That means we can sustain one another. That's called reciprocity. That's what WRIGHT represents. And that's the concept of infinity. We have had this false, again, the ego is the false identity, and we had it hammered into our heads, as it were, hypnotized, brainwashed by our surroundings, society, as they call whatever, okay? And we are convinced by those around us, not knowing no better, we believe we are what? Mortal flesh and blood and nothing more. Personally, that guy had that mentality. He didn't read no damn books. He didn't check out himself. He didn't give a damn about none of that. Point made. All ego. So I got that part. That's how I started out. Yeah, but I'm happy I did. Why? I needed that. WRIGHT means wrong and right. Knowing both and then dealing with them accordingly. I make a better choice now of what? Doing what's right for me. At that time, I did what I felt was good for me in a physical or monetary fashion. Now, I'm keeping a spiritual concept and I can live and do and be my best self and be happy with myself, within myself. That ego self wants what? Stuff, things, more. Conquer the ego. He don't run the show. And if he's in control of you, you're going to have constant problems. Watch this. And what's this? Your ego. That ego says things like what? Everything the ego says is what? I feel when I'm hungry. I feel hungry. I feel I am happy. I want this. I want that. See where we're going with this? My body, here's the vanity of the ego. My body is good looking. Okay? I go to the gym every day, not to keep my body good looking, but to keep the body functioning for me to live a longer, healthier life. That's why I go. I ain't going to take my shirt off. Look at me. I'm in the gym every day. All that nonsense. No, that's vanity. And you say, my body looks good. I want to get out a lot of money. See the pattern here? A lot of money for myself. Why? Because then I can buy many things and then I will be happy. See the material mindset? The material mindset of what? Me, I, accumulating. That's all this domain. Hell, the devil. This is a materialistic world. This is what you got to pass the test of getting past the materialistic nonsense of the world. Easy for me to say that. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, that's the idea. And the sooner we get it, better off your life would be. Why? Because now you can just live. Find the kingdom of heaven, and then what? Everything else will be given to you. All that's philosophical conceptually that I understand is y'all follow it. Don't got a damn clue. Talking and don't have a clue what it means. That freaks me out. Moving on, but that's another issue. That's why it's important to have somebody who can break it down, synopsis, can you understand so that you can use it, make it digestible. Y'all can't stand the good stuff. The pure stuff, no, it freaks y'all out. I got a buddy, if he sniff cocaine, his nose gonna bleed. Sorry about that, dude, but that's just a fact, okay? Everybody's no different. That's my point. All right. But when you have dreams of grandeur and your happiness is based on monetary things, and you say things like, my name is Elmer J. Fudd, I own a mansion in the yacht, and I come from wealthy parents, and nowhere else. All ego, vanity, nonsense. My country is such. White America, going to hell. Let's look at Africa, Burkina Faso. I am separate from other people. All ego. That's all, everything I just described. If you feel that way, you are egotistical. You ain't spiritual. Okay, you ain't enlightened at all. Okay, you still on the I, me, minds. Physical body, no spirituality. And it says, I am separate from the earth. Oh, you disconnected. And the universe, way wrong. And my thoughts are what? My own creation. No, they're not. Nothing inspires them except what? Their own minds. They can't get out their own damn way. They got a new drug now, psychosis, where they begin to think they're God. I'm teaching you how to become conscious with God. You don't need all that nonsense. You need knowledge and understanding and then put it to use. But in your mind, that's all psychosis. And that's where God dwells, but also where what? The other God dwells too. Okay? And there is no such thing as a spirit. Ding, 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 ding. Cancel their ticket. Life is flesh and blood and nothing else. So while I'm here, I will live it up to the day I die, and that you will do. For what? You only live once. Again, ignorance, ignorance, ignorance. And it says, I, my. That mentality will die. Why? It didn't get enlightened. It had no use. An unenlightened conscious has no use. So when the person who don't do it, it gets taken away out of existence. Gets to eat it. Your conscience and your heart. That's unrighteous. Simple. All that other concept, you can have, I didn't get you everybody's concept. You can conceptualize anything you want. But what you can't manifest or change is the things you got to do to get God's attention and to appease him. Moving on. Ego don't have that. The ego don't have God conscious. That's why you got to what? Put him in, get him under. You know why? You don't want him on the show. Why? Why's this? Your ego or your personality, ignorant, is the source of all human pleasures and pain in the world experience. Ding, 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 ding. You reap what you sow. You see people who do good things. Good things happen to them. You see people doing sneaky, deceitful, dishonest things, and you see them gaining material gains, so you think good things happen for them. No. That's the difference right there. What God gives is not materialistic. What I offer you is not tangible. It's materialistic. That means you owe somebody something, but what I give you is yours. Knowledge of self. That's the best knowledge you can have. That's what I give you, and I'm giving it. I ain't selling it. But for your world experience, your ego is in control. And all your pleasurable or your painful perceptions are the production of what? You ready? Of one's ego aspect of the mind because of its ignorance and its untrained condition. It's on its own. It ain't being enlightened. It ain't being educated. It's just on its own. That's called beastly nature. Living on instinct. Reacting as you go. That's never good. And you have an unconditioned mind and is often what? Lost in what they call the maze of world experiences. Haphazardly, willy-nilly, you just everywhere, just into everything, about everything. No focus, no aim and no goal. You just living. And that's not the way to get to God or to better yourself. So the retrained unconditioned mind is the source of what? Release or your freedom from what? Your fetters. What's a fetter? A fetter is the ego doing things that knowing is going to hurt you and it don't care. That's the fetters. When you stop letting the ego put you in bad predicaments, that's conquering one's ego self. And stop doing what? The wrong things. Stop doing things for hidden agenda purposes, pleasures for the flesh or the monetary gains. When you stop doing those things, if I do something for you, you don't owe me anything. Most people, they do something, what? For something. We call it doers, okay? But when you stop the fetters, that's held the spirit back, chained, so to speak, to what? To worldly events and entanglements of their own perceptions that they did for themselves. Every situation you involved in, good, bad, or different, you was the common denominator. If it's not good, don't do it. Simple as that. Moving on. That's the well-trained, that's the retrained mind, knowing what right from wrong. If you know both, now you become the deciding factor. To become one with God. Right there. That's the mindset. That's the concept. It's a metaphor for you what? Becoming better, a better person, being your best self. Whatever, how you want to figure it out. But it's all for everybody to accomplish. Every human being has the right to become one with God. Why? He already is that. He just got to remember it or learn and find out for himself. Be taught, whatever. That's the goal, okay? To become one with God, we must, first of all, here we go. This is the lesson right here. Discard our ego sense. The ego got to get out of the driver's seat in your life. If you're driven by the ego, you want money, you want pleasures of the flesh, you want things, stuff. His stuff's still here. Tutankhamun, stuff still here. So the stuff that I want, I don't need to have to worry about what? I can take it with me. What's that? Self-knowledge, bliss, that feeling of being one with God. We must discard the notion, the idea that we are individuals living in the universe and that we are separate from everything else. Wrong idea, bad concept. Why? Let me show you. We must understand and learn that we are not the body, not the mind, nor our five senses, not anything that we can feel or touch. If it's physical, it's just in this world. We go next level. Astral plane, the casual, the do-what. That's where it's all mental. That's where God dwells, in the temple, the here, your consciousness. The process of cleansing or conquering one's ego personality is what Maya represents, and that's what she prepares you for, to take care of that ego. Once you do that, you good to go. Why? Because he's going to do the work. You just don't want him leading the way. That's all. Put him in the work position, and he will work hard. That's your due diligence. That's the fight that's in you. That's the drive. That's the ego. And everybody has it. Because everybody don't know how to control it. And no matter how many times you tell them, they're still going to do the same thing. And once you cleanse your ego personality and you're attaining by the actions you're producing, purified heart. I do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Not because I'm going to get something from them or I can get something in return. No. That's the godly part. In this process, we call it yoga. Your own God advisor. You are being led by a higher consciousness, and to leave behind your ego and to develop your higher self. That's Haru. That's the better you. The best part of you, Haru. Lower part is set. That's the fight that's in you. The appendage that's on your head. Devil, get behind me. You don't want to get him out. Why? You're going to need him. Every now and then you're going to need the devil. So you just put him behind you. And when you call on him, he will always do what you need him to do. That's all. All right? But your ego is only a tool as our bodies, and it is to be used by us to do what? There you go. Get a lot of money? Nope. To assist in our survival and our spiritual evolution. This only occurs by daily training of the ego to what? Serve one's best interest instead of allowing it to run our lives. That's what I was telling you. If you're ego driven, you're going to do things that you want to do. You're going to do things that you think is best for you. Damn any and everybody else. That's the ego. No God, no concern for nobody else. And we all have it. Whether we know it or not, don't make a difference. But the concept is to put it in the servitude position where it's just waiting to do whatever you want to do. It's going to do that. It should not be in the driver's seat. Why? Because it don't know it's going to do whatever it's going to do. That's why. When you control it, harness it, and use it the way it's intended, it works like a charm. Okay? I think Ra defeats Apophis every night. Set on his job. He don't care. He's a honey badger. He don't care who he fight. Okay? Everybody else is scared to death. Set, the only one still fighting. Okay, that's the dog in you. All right, conceptually. I see the clock. I'm almost done. But this occurs by training the ego to serve your best interest. Now, it must be our servant, not our master. My ego got no say-so. Oh, it tries. Yeah, but I keep it underfoot, so to speak, under control. Every now and then, though, because he's a go-getter, he ain't going to give up. Every now and then, ego may get the best of me. I may act, I say, whoa. I catch myself. Why? That's the ego. And if you don't watch him, yeah, he get up in there and do his thing. That's the whole point. And submitting to him and keeping him under control will keep him where he needs to be for you. Now, through denial, what you mean? Sublimation, controlling one's ego. When you get horny, you got one or two choices. Relieve yourself by someone, or relieve yourself, pleasure yourself solo. But that's, again, ego. Ego wants to be satisfied. So you got to satisfy the ego. No, you don't. Semen retention is when you let the ego have no say-so, no sexual encounters, no masturbation. Man, you crazy. See? Because the ego don't even want to concede that concept. Why? That's going to take away his pleasures. The ego want to be satisfied. You don't give it what he got. He get it. You give it to me, she give it to me. Don't make a difference. And some of y'all take men, give it to you. You don't care. And even worse, animals, dead people, whatever. Pleasure. That should not be what drives you. That's my point. And y'all get way too far with it. Moving on. But when you deny the ego, put in context, now it is possible for you to partake in your cosmic true self, become one with your higher self, because the ego is not in control of yourself. Become a transmitter, like Ptah, the self-created one, and you do the work of they who reside in their caves. Thinking, the cave is the mind. What they call it, the Golgotha. Okay, that's the mind. Moving on. It's all mental. That's the Egyptian proverb. Okay, I don't have no new stuff. I tell you, but we got what we got. We know what we had work. They shut us down in 600 ACE. I ain't going that less, but that's the day that live on the infamy for me. That's my Pearl Harbor. All right, ambushed. One may become a conduit of who? The divine power of God through what? Through the work of the netter, by becoming what? In harmony with them. Learn the story. Practice the story. Live the story. Become the story. Hold on. Remember, eat, sleep, and drink your gods. That's how I do it with my yacht. I'll just lavish myself in my yacht. Philosophy. I think, I do, I act, I be. All those things is what drives me. One may become what? Merged with your spirit of nature, God, your higher self. How? Thereby living in immortality when the physical body dies. Once you become awakened, once you become conscious of who you are, the physical body you have no use for the physical body. Why? You're going home. You don't need to reincarnate. That's why you stop the cycle. Okay? The pyramid and the coffin text further admonish us to do this. Awaking the netter qualities, the Godhood in you, yourself. These are the things I teach. The lesson I give you, master those qualities, and you yourself will become free for yourself, and you will save yourself from what? The Osirian path of what? Passion and reincarnation. When you give into your lower nature, you're going to have to suffer consequences. That's why. And that's the whole idea of conquering what? The enemy. Who's your enemy? We have a mortal enemy that we had to fight. Our ego, personality, they're mortal enemies. Wisdom and ignorance don't go together. They will clash. And once you conquer your ego, personality, by doing so, you now become one with God. And now you may shine forth through the purified by your soul is in splendor, aka Hotep. Peace, contentment within oneself. Why? Because you made a connection with your higher self, and that makes you feel good and you're comfortable. So now the physical body is no longer your prison. Okay? It's something you're going to share when it's all said and done. It's like the clothes. Get naked, going back to God. And that new concept with the drug. Why y'all taking your clothes off? Don't worry. The spirit don't need, the clothes is the spirit. You can't take this off. The spirit gonna leave here anyway. That's the concept. Hope you got the lesson. I'll be right back with another idea of what we call mental health, because we start to lose our mental capacity to recognize reality from imagination. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, right thinkers. Remember, conquer the ego. That's the way to go. And in closing, may you all live to be 100, 100 minus a day. So I've never known my right thinkers who start to conquer the ego. And when you do that, you won't pass away. I'll be right back.